Very nice.
There isn't someone who is there.
Okay. Okay, sorry about the delay. Okay, so we're up to base. We're again on page 8, or I think it's page 8 on the Mishnah. So just for historical reference here. So last time we were talking about that a person, when they're alone and they're by themselves, so they act differently than if they're in public and in front of important people. So we have to realize we're always in front of Hashem. Hashem is always there. No, I'm not going to go to Uncle Moshe. Don't worry. I'm holding myself back. Okay. Oh no, we're not up to base yet. Excuse me. Yeah, top line. Except we're still in Aleph. Top line on of the Ramah. We're still in the Ramah on Aleph, and the Ramah says, "Now remember this for tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what I'm speaking about tomorrow, but this." Ramah will be one of the sources. And a person should not be embarrassed in front of people who make fun of you that you're serving Hashem, that you're doing an avodas Hashem. So again, I'll talk about more about this tomorrow. So the Ramah says that if you have to do something, so people might make fun of you, or you might feel uncomfortable. Right? I'm sure it's happened to all of us. You know, you're waiting for a plane and you have to daven. Right?
Right.
That's a classic example. So you got to daven. So you try to find a place that's a little quiet, and there's women are not properly dressed. It's a separate issue. It's not just daven. So again, you try to find it. But you have to make sure that you have a certain amount of backbone. All right, guys, for Hashem. So there's an important Mishnah Berurah here, Mishnah Berurah Hey. You shouldn't be embarrassed or a coward in front of people. Maybe Adam. So if we'll just do the beginning. So the Chafetz Chaim says, "Well, kopanim still lo yiskote demaim." You shouldn't argue with people in your avodas Hashem. Mimnei shemidas ha'adus meguna me'od. Because azus, brazenness, chutzpah, is a very bad midah. Ve'ein roi lishtamish mimena klal. I feel above us Hashem Yisparach. Amazing Chafetz Chaim. So the Chafetz Chaim says azus, brazenness, chutzpah, a person has to stay away from that midah. So you get up and you daven, and you should again you daven something. But then some Rabbi Avigdor Miller makes a big deal about this. That so somebody says something to you, ignore them. Say back to them, "Oh well, you're a bad person," and you start fighting with them. Don't do that, right? Don't do that. So again, azus, brazenness, is a midah that shouldn't use even in service of Hashem. And look what he says. So he says, why you have to stay away from azus. Right, we're in the Mishnah Berurah Hey. Why ki yikne kinyan benasha lios oz. Because once you're an azpanim, once you lash out at someone and you're brazen, so then what? I'm doing it to serve Hashem, right? So what happens? You're infected. And then the Chafetz Chaim says you'll be an azpanim even not in avodas Hashem. Be an azpanim. So it's an amazing Mishnah Berurah. So again, we have to be. Again, I know I'm from Chafetz Chaim and Musar and all that, but we're not learning Musar now. But again, it's something to keep in mind. You have to be strong. There's a balance. You have to be strong, and so I find a place down. Somebody says, "Oh, it looks like funny to me, son." You daven, right? But it's another thing to lash out at somebody and say, you're a racist, you're whatever. Leave it. Right?
What do they say about PFAS?
Oh, we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow? Okay. No, actually, I might speak about it on Shabbos, but so can't tell you everything.
You're doing enough.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Back upstairs in the Ramah, second line. Gam be'atznei alechas, gam be'atznei alechas. Mishkava, and when you're going to sleep, when you're lying down in bed, yeda lifnei mi hu shochet. You have to know in front of who and who you're lying down. Hashem is still there, even though you're in bed with the teddy bear. Umiyad kishir mishnaso, and again, as we mentioned before, when you're finished sleeping, you wake up. Yakum bezrizus la'avoda spara yisparach yisala. So you should wake up with vigor, alacrity. That's whatever that means. To serve Hashem, right? So I was speaking
briskly. It's my what just
briskly.
briskly.
Yeah, because people from. I was gonna say.
You want a knife?
Oh wait, who was talking to me before about they know somebody who's right? Somebody who's 90, right?
In his 90s, yeah. And he's probably, but his faculties is there. And he says, every day I get up, it's an opportunity to just keep serving Hashem.
Right. So I was mentioning that Rabbi Yonah says in Shai Tshuva, when a person in the second Chelak, I think it is, that says a person gets older, so people are dying all around you and everything, so you could get depressed. So the Rabbi Yonah says you shouldn't be depressed. Every day you have another opportunity to serve Hashem.
That was the word you used when we were talking about that. He said it shouldn't be bitter.
Right.
You should depressed, but
Right.
he also mentioned
You shouldn't be bitter. You have an opportunity to serve Hashem. So every day is another. We'll talk about that. So now the Mishnah Berurah points out. So the Ramah said that you should get up with zrizus, alacrity, brisk, whatever word you want to use for zrizus. So the Mishnah Berurah says, if you look at Mishnah Berurah Ches downstairs, the zrizus Mishnah Berurah Ches lav dafka. It doesn't mean you should get up with zrizus, right? You shouldn't. Probably a lot of you know that. Ela yeshaya ma'at. You should wait a little when you get up. When you wake up, you sit up. You shouldn't bolt out of bed. Rather, you should get up slowly, get up a little bit. Below yamo pitom, you shouldn't get up right away. Why? He's a mazik l'guf. It's a Gemara. It's not healthy, right? And this is true, right? People, right? You get out of bed really quickly, like you're late, and wow, I gotta get the man, and you jump out of bed. So, right, your blood pressure, no matter what age you are. Okay.
A lion does that.
A lion doesn't jump out.
No, opposite. Saying they get up slowly.
Right. So it's really like the analogy of the lion.
It says Mishnah Ka'ari.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that you're saying that we have to go slowly, sit up a little bit, and wait a couple, whatever seconds.
It's a balance, right?
I'm saying there are medical things that can happen.
Right.
And you're saying that lions do the same exact thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Watch them YouTube.
So there you go. Fair YouTube. Somebody told me a whole shiur once about a giraffe. About a giraffe proves that there's Hashem, because the giraffe, the head's all the way up there, and then this phenomenon could happen to a giraffe like any time, because the brain is so high up, it has problems. The blood so Hashem made a special sponge or something like that in a giraffe so that the blood going up that long neck, this doesn't happen to a giraffe. It's like, how do you explain that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just continue a little weiter in the Mishnah Berurah, that Mishnah Berurah Ches. So again, don't just bolt out of bed, but don't, again, it's a balance, right? Don't bolt out of bed, but don't go too slowly. But you have to make sure you keep your equilibrium, literally. And then, as you all know, the Chafetz Chaim says, Tov Lamar Tekef Bekumo. It's good to say as soon as you wake up in the morning, Moda Ani Lefanecha Melachai V'Kayam Shechazarta Binishmasi Bechemla Kama Rabbi Melasecha. Right? We talked about this. So thank Hashem that Hashem. Now, and the Mishnah Berurah says it's Bechemla Kama Rabba Emulasecha, and it's based upon the pasuk. I think we talked about this a couple of days ago in the morning, Dvar Torah. And the Mishnah Berurah continues to say you don't have to wash Negelvasser for this. In other words, you wake up and you sit up, say Modani, you don't have to wash your hands for this because now this is an important rule because there's no name of Hashem there, or even Kinu Hashem. Huh? Right, but it's still, yeah. So, but he says you don't have to because Mel Chai, that's right.
Sorry.
Mel Chai, right.
I'm silly half asleep.
But the Mishnah Berurah says, but you cannot learn if you didn't wash your hands. We'll talk about washing hands later. And he says, and anyways, you can't learn because you didn't say Birchas HaTorah, right? So now that again, we'll get to Birchas HaTorah later. But again, just coming attractions. Let's say you wake up early in the morning, or you can't sleep, or whatever. You do know, from Jews should never have problems of taking a sleeping pill or anything like that. If you can't fall asleep, if you're having problems with insomnia or anything, I give you a surefire way to fall asleep right away. Just open up a safer. No, I'm serious. It's 100%. It will definitely work. You'll be out like a light. I'm telling you. Huh?
No.
No, even before when you open the safe for no, I'm serious. It's a joke, but it's really true. The Yetzer Hara will not let you learn, so you'll be out like a light. I remember when I was in yeshiva, so the yeshiva would sometimes because I would give a pilbusher, so guys that tapes. There used to be tape. I don't want to get into that. And guys used to listen to the tapes, and so you go into dorm rooms, and guys would be in the dorm rooms listening with their guys would be asleep. Because, it's that's just the way it is. Okay, so again, so you're not allowed to learn Torah until you say Birchas HaTorah. Let me tell you a very beautiful word that I actually heard from Simcha Wasserman. At the end of his life, he used to come to Los Angeles. He was in Los Angeles, so he used to come back very often. So at the end of his life, my wife and I were very close to Simcha and his wife. So he told me a beautiful, and I try to do it. Whenever he said, if you ever have the opportunity to learn with somebody who's not from, right? Let's say you're being Makar something, once a week you're learning with somebody not from. So Rav Simcha said, he actually told me this. He said, make sure they say Birchas HaTorah. Asher Baruch Habanu. They said, well, of course, because they can't learn unless they made Birchas HaTorah. He said, yeah, but that's not the reason. Ready for this? Simcha told me the reason is because you're learning with them Torah. They have to realize we're going to study something now. It's not math, it's not history, it's not science, it's Torah. You don't make a bracha before you learn math or science or history or whatever. So he said right away, when you're learning with this person, subconsciously, it throws it into a different orbit. We're learning something different. I'm studying with this person. It could be a rabbi. It could be with you, I'm studying with them something. I don't make a blessing over, like I said, of math or science and he said, totally. And I've done it. And it really makes a difference. It just subconsciously does. You're making a problem. You're learning Torah.
So in that situation, you just the rough
Sure,
you
you
don't have to
don't buy the person crazy with 14 brachos. So again, so that's the halacha we see here. That again, we'll learn about later, obviously, Meretz Hashem. But you're not allowed. So if you wake up 2 o'clock in the morning, can't sleep, and so okay, I'll just get up, and so you sit down and learn. That's to say Birchas HaTorah. Even though it's 2 o'clock, it's dark. It's way night, right? Has nothing. It doesn't have nothing to do with dawn or alos or nates or any. Whenever you wake up and you finish sleeping, you want to learn. Yeah, you can't learn unless you say Birchas HaTorah. Right. So again, it's a beautiful idea by Rav Simcha about again, if you're learning with somebody, again, you don't have to be a rabbi to be makar with somebody, right? So if you're learning with somebody who's not from, so again, here we're learning. There's a technical thing. There's they have to make Birchas HaTorah, right? But here's it's an amazing idea by Rav Simcha that he said to me.
So for ourselves, well, not just to say,
right?
Not talking about someone who's not from, but just for ourselves. If we make in the middle of the night, do we just say Asher Baruch Rabanu, or we say last?
Well, it depends. If you're going to stay up all night, you're done, right? I'm going to just stay up. It's 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So you should say both brachos. Say both. There's a whole thing about why we say
going back to sleep. Just
yeah, if you're going to go back to sleep, right? Okay, we'll stop here for today, and Meretz Hashem, we'll pick this up tomorrow night. Meretz Hashem. Eshkach, everyone. Wait, I have to,
Thank you.
recording. I stopped the recording.